Greetings, my name is Rudimentary Rob. Welcome back to my Astroneer series. Today we resume the action where we left off. We've just activated another gateway on Calidor and we are now heading off to, locate and activate another gateway on Calidor. I think I can sense a theme here. So, with that out of the way, I suggest you get on your favourite Astroneer watching outfit and strap yourself in and prepare for some action and adventures. Well, not sure about action, but definitely adventures. Now, in today's adventures, we are going to continue our trend of pretty much looting anything and everything that we come across along the way. As you can see, the buggy is starting to get a little bit full at the moment. In fact, our backpack there is getting quite full as well. So we're going to come up with a bit of a solution here shortly to help deal with that so we can have a bit more space. Also, we're having a bit of a consideration about what our next move is going to be after we finish activating these surface gateways. And there'll be a lot more on that a bit later this episode. Of other interest, I am actually, this is the first bit of voiceover that I've recorded in 2025. So, little bit belated, but I'm going to say Happy New Year, everyone. I hope your Christmas and New Year period was awesome. And if it wasn't, I would ask for, a signed, essay in triplicate signed by your, relevant ruler. But, I'm just going to start the year off on a good foot and say, well, let's see if we can work on that down the track. In other news, technically I've actually finished recording all of the Glitchwalker finale. I just haven't got around to editing that. So it is going to get put together and there will be a few more episodes involved. There's still quite a bit to do in that series. But stay tuned. All of that will come out in due course. And there is quite a lot of action to be had in that one, so stay tuned. In other fronts, I did put a community post up recently. I'm going to leave it up there for comment and debate and anything else you'd care to add to it for a while. But I'm currently speculating on doing a hardcore Valheim series. So if you've got any thoughts or you've got some interest in, watching that sort of a content, now would be a great time to jump into the community tab and, leave a comment on there, leave a thumbs up, whatever you'd like to leave. I will be more than happy to receive it. I'll take all that on board, and a little bit later in 2025, I can see that I am going to get a series of Valheim underway once again. All right. Now that I've got that little bit of spiel out of the way, we can resume our action on Calidor. Alright, here we are working on our storage issues. I just spat out a small printer. From there, with a couple of resin, we can generate ourselves another medium storage. That gives us a bit more room to work. And then in due course, I will find ourselves another couple of resin, and then we'll spit out another medium storage for that last remaining trailer, and that should maximize how much we can collect and take back with us to our lovely base on Calidor. Yeah, there's a crazy amount of explosives around when I was recording this. Pretty sure it was because of the Christmas event. You do need those explosives to blow up those big cans to get all of the different goodies out of them. And so consequently usually find a few extra explosives lying around. Yeah, a few might be the understatement of the century. I swear you'd probably be lucky to come across one explosive compared to, three-quarters of a trailer load that we're going to have by the end of this run. Oh, hello. Speaking of things that we can do with explosives, there's an exo cache. So yeah, we're gonna blow that one up so we can get a few chips out of it because we don't have the room to actually carry it back. The what do we end up with? 3 chips. We've got room for 3 chips, but the exo cache itself is just way too big. Even if we found some graphite to make a packager, I don't even think it would fit on one of these trailers, to be honest. It might do, but honestly, I've never tried. But I would much rather keep what I've got than throw all those samples or explosives away just to take back one exo cache. So yeah, I think that's a good noble sacrifice for that piece of explosive. In the meantime, we're here working on our bridge to nowhere. Well, it's not really a bridge to nowhere. We're trying to get to the top of this ridge line because we think the next gateway, and sure enough, we don't just think, we know the next gateway is only just over this hill, and building the ramp is a bit quicker than trying to drill through. Now, as much as I do try to rectify this problem with my little tractor that could, yeah, this is one circumstance where the way forward is to just give up and, yeah, fall down and just work your way back up again. I thought I could build the terrain up to make the trailer come up with it. Yeah, that really didn't work. Plan B is to try and drive the tractor forward, but because it's now extended below the ground level there, the only real option is, yeah, to just dig myself out. It happens. Look, honestly, if you don't find yourself stuck in Astroneer at least once during your run through, you're really not trying hard enough, and I would ask you to try harder. Now, this is not a scenario which I like coming across on a regular basis, but I have a funny feeling for at least one or two more planets it could be a reasonably regular occurrence. Yeah, the gateway is basically buried in a mountain. Now, the last time we came across this, it wasn't as badly buried as this is. This one is like the entire gateway, other than the little bit sticking out the top, is completely engulfed by this mountain. So, yeah, I've sped all this up. In fact, I'm probably going to cut a bit as well. There is just a mountain of digging involved, quite literally. Anyway, many fumbles of generators later, we finally got everything going where it needed to go. We do have some spare organic there if we did actually need it, but as it turns out, we had plenty in the generators already, and with all of the generators running, we are now able to activate said gate in 3, 2, 1. Messed up that countdown. Anyway, we now have this gateway activated, and we can move on with our next task. Now, if you look carefully at the radar, you will notice there are no more purple blips on the map on the horizon. That is what tells us that we have activated all of the surface gateways. Because when you have at least one that isn't active, you'll always get the little purple dot on the horizon, you know, theoretically in the shortest distance direction to go to that gateway. But we don't have one of those anymore. So we're all done with activating surface gateways. Honestly, at this stage, I'd kind of lost count, but a quick trick... put my teeth back in. A quick check of the compass there has confirmed, yeah, we're done with activating surface gateways on Calidor. So we can take all of this delicious loot, quite an impressive amount of science samples in there too. We're going to take all of that back to our base, and then, yeah, plans will be afoot. Yeah, I think I had something a little bit different in my head in terms of how that particular descent was going to work out. Yeah, when I flipped, it ended up sticking me a bit further into that rock wall than I was anticipating, but it's alright. We have our terrain tool. Digging ourselves out of trouble is what we're good at. Actually, are we good at that? I don't know. Leave a comment down below and give me a critique out of 10 in terms of how good you think I am at digging myself out of trouble. In an unofficial poll, I'll ask you about how effectively I am able to get myself into trouble. Yeah, separate score out of 10 down below. Yeah, I was kind of thinking, why did I bother stopping to grab that? And then this whole time I'd completely forgotten that we had one spare graphite on the front of the tractor. So apparently it did come in handy. Alright, we found another one of these giant structures, and just like on the one on silver, we've found that it does contain something useful, and also another thing that we can put into the thing. Sorry, it's at the end of a longish workday, and I think the brain's just given up on proper nouns at this stage. But you'll know it when I do it. It's that special data translation-y thing back on... and I've forgotten the name of the moon. Anyway, I'll refer back to it if and when I actually get round to doing those. In the meantime, we're grabbing some more graphite because we do actually have more room. If I end up coming across enough samples, I can just chuck those generators because the generators are only one compound each and they're very easy to remake. So I'd rather be replacing those with science samples if we come across them. But in the meantime, yeah, I'll just carry them around in case I need the extra power for something. I seem to be finding quite a few of these railway pylons everywhere. I don't know if I can see a train system in my future for Calidor, but there's no shortage of pylons around. And actually quite close to the surface in most cases, if not already on the surface. So, yeah, I'll have to remember where those are for next time. More treasure. Oh, I've been really happy with this trip around Calidor. I found so much good stuff, and just when I thought I was done finding good stuff, look, another small solar panel. Never gonna say no to free power. Never say no to free power. Yeah, this is a bit rude. Having one of those little rocket launcher plants right next to the bit of science that I want, but yeah, they don't have any chance against me. It's so easy to get in just in range and then just dig the roots out from under them. It's the best way to deal with them. Main thing is don't run straight towards them because that's where they'll missile you in the face, and that's just not pretty. All right, as we arrive back at our home base here on Calidor, I'll start having a bit of a chat about what our plan is moving forward. Now, with all of the surface gateways activated, the next step obviously is to activate the planet's core, which I know we haven't done that on Silver yet. Sort of saving that one for a bit later. But the other planets, I'm intending to do the core run as part of my initial, arriving on the planet type arrangement. The device of choice for that is a large rover. Now, the large rover requires, we'll say, quite a few mats, but it isn't anything that we don't have access to here on Calidor. So we are very much going to be working on building ourselves a large rover. In addition to that, we are also going to be making a paver and a drill for that vehicle. And we're going to need a few other mod cons along the way. I'm fairly sure I've got access to all of it here on Calidor, but if I don't, I'll be making a quick dash to wherever it is that I need the other bits and pieces from. I honestly can't remember exactly what the materials are for the large rover and all of the other bits and pieces, but it's not going to be a hugely fancy large rover setup. I mean, we're not in a position to be able to make RTGs ourselves, so it'll be a bit of a bare bones run. If you are watching my Glitch Walker series, I can imagine it'll be something broadly similar to what I was using in that series. But we're not quite there yet in the regular series, and I'll keep you updated as we get the various bits and pieces of that rover ready to go. I imagine it's probably going to take us a couple of episodes. Now, speaking of episodes, we have reached the end of this one. So if you've enjoyed it, don't forget to give me a thumbs up and to consider subscribing if you aren't already subscribed. Hey, if you're enjoying my content, you can always hit the notification bell as well, and you'll be notified as each new episode is released. Until next time, my name is Rudimentary Rob. Thank you very much for watching, and make sure you have both an absolutely amazing 2025, but look, let's just start today by having an amazing day.